Oh, what, you're not going to talk?
No.
You're just going to sit here and look at me?
We were not prepared for that at all. That's great.
Uh-huh. Okay, so Jamie's back on camera this time. You can see me.
Woo!
A round of applause for Jamie.
That seems unnecessary, but okay. And who
Slightly
else?
passive aggressive.
Who else is here? Who are you?
I am Olie. I am here. That's it. I don't know. I'm Olie. I'm in TAC.
I am Sam, and I am also in TAC.
You've done this before, though, so, like...
Yeah.
I've also been on this before.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
2
so
months
I'm
ago.
back. I haven't been here in a long time.
Have you done it this year?
I don't know. It's been like, I think a solid 6 months.
It's been a long time.
A long time.
Yeah. Okay, so do we got anything interesting to talk about?
Did my senior project yesterday.
Okay, that is a
okay.
good place. We're gonna start with weird random, not actual library activities.
Oh, I guess we could have two.
No, we could do weird random. I just need to know where we're going.
Okay, we are not killing it today, but weird random. Okay, so I did my senior project.
It's Friday, so like...
It's fine. I've thought too much this week. Can't do it no more. Okay, so senior project. I made my school a new mascot costume because I do the fursuit things. And every time I practiced this presentation, I went over the time limit. But guess what, guys? Got a perfect score, and I was under the time limit. We really got it together at last minute, but anxiety will do that to you. So
Hey, every time I ever had to do anything, even now, I either talked really, really fast and got done super, super early, or I went on really weird tangents and took twice as long as I was supposed to. So the fact that you finished in the right amount of time and got a perfect score is very impressive.
the problem every other time I practiced was I went on tangents, and people told me that. They're like, you have to stop going on tangents. I'm like, I'm sorry. I have ADHD. It is so bad. I literally cannot stop going on tangents, but I pulled it together that one time.
One time's all it takes?
What was your project?
It was on costume design and creation.
Nice.
Aren't you listening? Pioneer got a new penguin.
Yeah, what do you think it was about?
I don't know.
What do you have going on in your life?
School.
Fun.
I got my estimated financial aid package from OSU.
How little are they giving you?
Surprisingly, not that little. It's not.
Oh, so it's
not
enough
that
to actually be helpful?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of times it's like, here you go, and you're like,
It's-
well, what's this supposed to do for me?
It's
$20 is
more
20
than
bucks,
half of the
Jamie.
cost.
Well, you don't take it. You don't say no to it, but you're
Yeah.
still
Right,
like,
yeah.
if you're relying on help in order to do it, a lot of times what they offer is just enough to make you
Yeah.
upset
Get you
because
through.
just enough to be like, well, I still can't go. Like, it's not enough. I
Yeah.
still can't go. I still can't, like, or I still need to take out this much and whatever. So
But yeah, so they offered me a sizable chunk, and a lot of it's basically free money. It's no like loans or anything like that. There are a few in there that I probably won't be getting. And then with all of my scholarships and stuff that I'm applying for now, both through Ohio State and outside of Ohio State, it is plausible that I could not have to pay for my first year out of
Nice.
pocket. So
I did see that one I had to write a letter for
Mhm.
extended the deadline.
that one did not.
Oh, it didn't?
No, it was a few others.
Okay. Because
for that
I
one,
did a
but-
letter for you, and then I had to upload Alexis's letter that I'd already written for other scholarships, which was convenient because she was like, hey, here you go. And I was like, that's tomorrow. It's a good thing I already knew how to do this because I had to set up my account for Sam. But yeah, no, it worked out okay. But yeah, I gotta.
Speaking of scholarships, the school hasn't been great about like helping us with those.
No, they
So-
basically just tell you, here's the list, here's what you can do, here's what you can get. Do it on your own.
Yeah.
That's how most schools handle most things. Here's the stuff, figure it out.
Right.
It's not helpful. Not
And
helpful that we
honestly,
need it to be.
you get more information than I got from my high school
Well,
when I
yeah.
was doing this stuff. You've got like what 3 rounds of scholarship stuff, and they give you deadlines, and 2 rounds. I know. I have
Phase 2 scholarships.
Yeah,
Phase
but like
2.
you
I
have
got emails
you
all
get
the time.
you get all of the information, you get all of the deadlines, and half of it it's all the same form. You fill it out once and just check off which ones you want to do. Like it's
This time it's not that way.
I was said like it's just maybe not. Maybe you have to print the form 3 times.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
like it's all the same stuff. It's
Right.
like they don't ask for anything other than this is the basic whatever,
Mhm.
and then some of them do require like essays and stuff. But that's still twice as much information as I got. We were just told, oh well, financial aid can help you once you know where you're going.
Yeah.
And it was basically just go figure it out on your own. I think my school had like 2 scholarships through the school.
Mm.
Like PTO did one, and somebody else. There was one other one,
Mm.
and they didn't. You got basically bubkiss. They'd announce it over the announcements, and that was it. And God forbid you were in a room where you couldn't hear the announcements, because my homeroom was the art room for like 4 years,
Mm.
and I enjoyed my art class, but
As you should.
it was not conducive. But between art class first thing in the morning, and that one year we didn't do homerooms, and I was in like I took a French class, but I was with a bunch of freshmen because I was a senior and I was just filling up space.
Mm.
And that room was really loud when we were doing announcements. And then I was in the band, and 8th period was band, and so like I ended the day in band.
Mm.
You don't hear anything
No.
in yeah, I missed a lot of stuff because of where I was and you didn't know about it. So you at least have access to a lot of information, which I
Yeah.
know it doesn't sound like help, and I know it doesn't sound like a lot, and I know you're looking at me like I'm crazy, but it's better than nothing. Like,
Well, the point I was trying to make.
sorry, yes,
We went on
It's
a
okay.
tangent.
It's okay.
that's what happens when you let Jamie talk.
I've been asking around to like my friends and stuff about how scholarships are going for them, and a vast majority of them haven't started to work on them, and the vast majority are due on the 16th.
Oh yeah, no, nobody does them until
Yeah.
the 15th.
But I like it just gets me a little bit sad that like if the school did more to help them, there would definitely be a lot more who actually get them done, because I know a lot of them won't get them done. I know a few who would have gotten it done, but because it was left on their own, they either weren't able or didn't.
Well, some of that is good life skill practice, because there's not going to be a whole lot of hand holding the further you get from the school. I'm going to check on that, and if that's the front desk, I'm not going to answer it. They can leave me a message.
Just don't answer it at all. That's not important. If it's important, they'll leave a voicemail.
Oh,
I don't ever listen to voicemails.
that's just my micro-marketing.
The only
rep.
people
He can
who
leave
call
a
me
message.
are spam.
It's not-
So
It's
I don't
nothing that's, like, super time-sensitive.
If you call me and I don't answer, don't leave me a voicemail, because I won't listen to it. Just text me, please.
I don't call people anyway. If I'm calling you, there's probably something severely wrong, and I probably need help like immediately. So
Anytime anyone from TAC who had my phone number, anytime anyone ever called, I answered the phone with, "Are you okay?" Because if you're calling me instead of texting me, something's going on.
I
Ashley,
email you.
I mean, Ashley used to think that was hilarious. She's like, Jamie, if there was an emergency, you are like the lowest person on my list of people I would call. Like, she's like, there's no way. Like, I have just, because, she was one of the ones who had multiple sets of parents and was like, I got all these people.
Mhm.
and you wait on here.
I mean, like, she's like, well, I mean, I know I could call you, but why
Yeah.
would I call you? And I said, that's why I get worried when you people call me, because, first of all, nobody likes to talk on the phone. And second of all, I'm a weird person to call. And, third, I kind of assume, and there's an emergency.
Mhm.
The other day,
I mean, I think Emily had been graduated for, a whole year before I stopped answering the phone that way.
the other day when I was at Kane's and we were having shirt problems, I was like,
With the really easy shirts that were the exact same, despite the fact that the color was different.
they were really easy. It was a really easy order, and for some reason we were having troubles. They were having troubles. I knew exactly what was going on, but I was like, okay, if you need, what? I don't know why you're doing that, but I was like, if you need help, I will just call Jamie, and she will tell you. But I was like, maybe I shouldn't call Jamie because then she's gonna think something's wrong. Something was wrong, but not like.
I mean, you could have called me. I sometimes have my phone in my pocket.
Yeah, but I guess they just like emailed you and then immediately called.
Well, they
you.
emailed me, and then I apparently didn't email fast enough because they called me, and then I emailed them back, and then they emailed me again with a second set of things, and then that's what I said. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but they are having so many problems that they can't understand. Because first I had to approve,
Ollie, why'd you do that?
I approved the art on the sand shirts. Like, I approved that art. And I assumed the art was the same no matter what the color of the shirt was, right?
As the only person
whatever.
who works at Cane's, why'd you do that?
So, like, I say, like,
The only person there.
so, like, I approved the art weeks ago. I approved the art when they were like, we can do this now. And I'm like, I just gave the kids the order forms. You're going to have to give me a minute. And then
sure
I had
it's a
to,
time crunch, because if they ever get time, they won't do it.
If we get time, things go like.
Yeah.
Like
you have too much time to think about it, and it gets to be
Yeah.
let's do it. Like,
when we have time, the shirts and everything becomes like a liquid, and it just spreads out, and we don't know where it's going. We don't know when it's gonna stop. We don't know where it went. Half of it probably evaporated. We don't know what's going on.
Mhm.
But so yeah, don't give us.
Well,
Don't give
because
us
that
time.
was one of yesterday's things was I had to approve the art on the green shirt, and I'm like, it looks identical. What's different? Looks great. That's what I said. I said it looks great.
Mhm.
And then I had to approve the names, but I always approve the names. Yeah. Which is why it was my fault. when Brooke
Was
was wrong.
Brooke spelled right?
I triple checked. Brooke was spelled correctly.
Was everyone else spelled correctly? Mine was spelled correctly.
Was mine-
I saw the names today.
Was
Actually,
mine spelled correctly? Because a lot of people spell my last name wrong.
I didn't put your last name on it.
Oh yeah.
I double checked to make sure mine was spelled correctly because I was so scared they were gonna put 2 L's in it because everyone spells it with 2 L's.
I triple checked. It was. And I'm
good.
getting better at not putting in that second L.
Yeah. It's like, man.
I don't have any problems with it.
Oh, congratulations.
I really didn't think it would be that much of a problem. I was like, people can figure this out. Like, you can look at it, and they'll no, people don't.
I turned 33 years old this year,
Uh-huh.
and I still have. Well, I can't say for sure because it's been years since I had any contact with this particular uncle. But so, like, we'll say 25 years since the last time I had. In 25 years of life, he still couldn't spell my name.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Your
Well,
name is
most
so
people.
easy.
Yeah, I know. But most people, when you spell Jamie, it's like I-E.
Oh yeah.
And I don't have an E. And so
I mean, after one time, he should have been like
25 years. 25. At least 25 years.
I've corrected people
And
like
he
2 or
couldn't-
3 times before, and they still don't get it.
See,
I'm like, okay, listen.
I think Jamie is spelled G-A-Y-M-I.
I did graduate with a Jamie who was Jayme.
What'd you say your cowboy name was the other day? And you were like, it's got a silent Y on the end, in parentheses.
I forget what it was, but it
Fudd.
was.
We were talking about Elmer Fudd.
Oh,
Because you
yeah.
said it was F-U-D-Y, but it was a
W.
silent Y, and then I laughed a little bit, and you said, yeah, but the Y is W-H-Y.
In parentheses.
I thought that must have been a really long day, because that was like the funniest thing I'd ever heard.
See, the
very
thing is,
funny.
I'm very, very funny. I'm basically a comic at this point.
Okay.
Definitely. Anyway, craft night. I don't have anything for that. I was just trying to change the subject.
Okay. Do we want to talk about anything we have upcoming? We don't have to, because
How about April?
I don't think that people are really listening to get details on our program.
They are definitely not.
No.
They're here to listen to me talk about mushrooms. Like,
I don't
but
know
I mean,
about
we
that.
do.
yes, they are.
We do have, like, March is just full of all of our regular stuff, plus a craft night. Some parts of TAC are working on murder mystery, but that's not open to the average teenager, so that's a better topic for April after we've done it, and it's like, look at this thing we did, it's pretty cool. And I only put April because I didn't know if you had something specific you wanted to talk about with what we were doing in April. What are we doing in April?
Fools.
What are we doing in April?
You were asking the wrong
It's
person.
like that's the one with the cookies, the cooking, right?
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna
David, I don't even
pay
know what I'm doing
attention
next.
to the
My
calendar
birthday's
for.
in April, right?
So yeah, we're gonna pay attention
then cake
to
day.
the calendar for something to do with cake and something to do with the photo contest because that's on my piece of paper too.
Yar.
Yar?
Do we? Is anybody reading anything interesting enough to warrant talking about? Because I'm not.
I'm reading Invisible Man, which is at the same time both aggravating and oppressing. So
Yeah, that one's real heavy.
yeah, it is. What are you
I
reading?
haven't read it, but I've sat through at least 3 AP English people who
Yeah.
have read it,
Mm-hmm.
and that one's heavy.
Yeah.
We are currently reading Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
That
And-
one's fun. I liked that one.
And it's not going the way that I thought it was gonna go, because like when you see it in like pop culture,
Oh yeah,
like,
no, it doesn't really work the way we think it should work.
Uh-uh,
Like,
I-
the
How
book
does
is
it work?
the book is different, but
yeah,
it's still pretty cool.
we haven't got to the end yet. We were like 3 chapters away or something. I don't know, but I went into it. I was like, okay, I know exactly what happens. There's a guy, and he makes a potion, and he drinks it, and he turns into a thing. And I was like,
A thing.
I was like, I know exactly how this is gonna go, guys. I already know the ending. And
A
I'm
guy
reading-
becomes a Grimbly.
I don't know what Grumbly is, but sure. Anyway, and then we started reading it, and I was like, guys, this is not what I thought it was.
No, it's a
I
lot
was-
more like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde is being like an introspective, like a emotional personality thing, right?
It means something, unlike every other interpretation of it.
Right? Isn't it more? It's been a long time since I read it, but it's a little less sciency and monstery and a little more
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
more like introspective.
I'm not really like looking deep into it because I don't really care. I'm kind of just like listening to the
Andrew
audio.
Gertler would be so disappointed.
Andrew
in you.
Gertler would be so. I do not want to disappoint Andrew Gertler, but listen, I cannot put in the effort that Andrew Gertler wants me to put in because no one else is putting in the effort, and I don't want to. I'm also very tired, and I don't have the time or the energy to put in the effort. But anyway, so I'm just like listening to the audio, and I'm like answering the questions, and I'm like, okay, well, that question sheet is done, and we can just move on and forget what happened in this chapter. But yeah, not. I think if I like actually paid attention and like read it on my own, it probably would have been better. It probably would have been like, okay, this is kind of cool, but I have to do like questions and like
Yeah.
pay attention.
Honestly, a lot of English classes kind of ruin
Yeah.
reading. I mean, English classes were always my favorite. They're always fun.
Yeah, they're fun, but like I don't want to do questions.
It kind of,
Yeah, no.
it kind of, because you have to, you can't just read. You have to like really think about what you're reading, and
I don't like to think.
Like I like when we have discussions about books and stuff, but I hate having to like write about them
Yeah.
and like answer questions and stuff.
you see, like the short answer question kind of thing is always like I can write an essay about something, like I can write a paper about something. I can have if like we can talk about something, we can like discuss it, but like to read a chapter or read 2 chapters and then have to answer 10 questions, like it's a pain in the butt and it's kind of annoying. And I had one high school class where we had to like annotate as we read.
I hate doing that so much.
And
It
like
ruins
we
the
had to,
flow.
yes, it does. It made it so awful. You almost have to read everything twice.
Yeah.
Because like
Which I refuse to do.
which
Yeah.
I know I hated doing that too. Because at least one of those books we read was awful, and I was like, once is bad enough. I'm not doing it again. I can't remember for sure what all we read that year except Silas Marner, which was horrible. That's why I remember it. Stuck.
Yeah, that's why you can remember it.
But no, it was like every paragraph we had to have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Sometimes,
it's an old book, so the paragraphs are like
Yeah.
this big or like 2 pages, and so like it wasn't like they were like this.
Yeah.
But still, it ruins the flow. You get stuck, and a lot of those old ones are very descriptive anyway. So like they move slowly, and if you have to stop and write it, oh my god, they were horrible.
It's so awful. Like, I just want to read it. If I sat down and read the whole thing in one sitting, which I probably could have done because it's like short.
It is. It's like a short story.
Yeah.
It's not a novel.
Yeah, I probably could have sat down and read it all in one sitting, and I would have been like, okay, cool, that was fun. But no, I have to like answer the questions, and I have to like think about it and do quizzes. And like, no one wants to be quizzed over a book. Like, I just want to sit and read it. Like, and like maybe have a class discussion. Like I like the class discussions because
Mm-hmm. Or if you're testing, it should be more like open-ended question testing.
yeah.
And less, because like when you have to do quizzes or multiple choice, or you have to do short answers and stuff, it's a lot more. Just can you spit back to me exactly what you read? Not do you understand what you read or know what you read or talk about what you read?
I promise
And
you,
it's
I
very
do not
different.
understand the thing that is going on. Except there's like a lawyer and he's like really concerned about Jekyll because he thinks Hyde's gonna murder Jekyll. But I think they're like the same person. And you can't. Well, no, I was gonna say you can't murder yourself, but you totally can. It's just not recommended. But your
Definitely not recommended.
Do not do this.
Your like alter ego cannot murder you. So,
I don't know. I don't have an alter ego, but I would hope so. Well, I would hope not.
As someone
anyway.
who has an alter ego.
what? Anyway, so the lawyer has nothing to be concerned about. The lawyer has nothing to be concerned about because it can't happen. All of his fears are irrational. And there's probably going to be someone watching this being like, no, his fears are rational. But listen, you can argue with me in
You're
the
wrong.
comments. You're wrong.
You're wrong, and frankly, stop watching.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to tell anybody to stop watching because I still don't know why anybody watches, but
That's fair.
people do.
I rescind my statement.
There you go. I mean, really, who wants to? I sit here for these, and I'm still like, I don't understand why anybody would want to listen to this for half an hour.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Eh,
I don't like my voice.
I hate my voice. I'm not listening to it.
I am the outlier here.
Oh, what? You like your voice?
Kinda, yeah.
I mean, I like your voice,
Oh,
but
thank
like,
you.
Your voice is splendid.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
I feel like my voice is just really annoying, but for some reason I don't mind it. Like, I don't know.
How is it annoying?
I don't know. I just feel like I talk too much.
No.
Even though I don't.
oh, you're sitting next to me. You're fine.
I think I've talked for like 5% of this podcast and everyone else gets the other 95% yet.
It's 5%, 5%, 90%.
Ollie's done a lot of talking.
I could do more. Who wants to hear about mushrooms? I love
Do we want to talk about anything else that's actually on the list aside
Uh,
from before we get to mushrooms? These were, like I said,
Women's History Month.
this was the TAC list, so like we can bounce around a little bit and we don't have to, but that's the stuff that we had talked about wanting to talk about.
I already talked about this.
Yeah.
I talked about that.
I mean,
Let's talk about Women's History Month.
Yes, March.
Women, they're
is
great. Have you seen them?
I agree. We love women here.
Okay. But no, March is Women's History Month, so we theme all our displays for that. We should do something in the teen zone because we haven't done. I think if you look, I haven't. I keep looking and saying we have to fix that, but I keep getting distracted and I haven't fixed it. I think the December programs are still on display in the teen zone.
Oh,
Well,
I think maybe somebody should be getting on that.
if no one's
Hannah.
complained and no one's noticed, then it's probably fine.
Yeah.
But we should probably update those.
But we
eventually.
probably should. But anyway, Women's History Month is always really cool because
who's your
women's
favorite
history stuff.
woman?
This is a great question. Who's your
It's a
favorite?
weird question.
Who's your favorite woman? Answer it in the comments.
Let's not, maybe. How about we go with historical figures because there's a real easy
Let's
way for
rate-
this to go kind of
let's
like.
rate
oh
all
my
the
God.
women we know.
Let's not.
I have
let's
a
not.
story about a woman today, sort of.
I have a story
Am I
about
gonna
a
have
woman.
to like cut any of this out?
No, it's clean, it's fine, but I just want
Okay.
to talk about how awful men are for a hot second. So, in my math class, we had to go around and do these surveys because we're doing like statistical stuff.
Okay.
And we had to go around and ask people to rate 4 people on like who was most influential and who was like the least influential person.
Okay, so like historical and or current event type people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I picked like current people, and one of the people I picked was Jenna Ortega from Wednesday because she was like
Oh, she's cool.
yeah, she was super popular. So I went around and I was in this English class and I went up to these guys and I was like, hey, take this survey. And they were like, okay. And they put Jenna Ortega as first. And the only reason they put her as first is because they said that she looks like a 12-year-old and they thought that she was attractive. And I was like,
Wait a minute. Wait a
Hold
minute.
on,
Wait a minute.
hold
wait a
on,
minute.
hold on.
Your mostly grown up type age bracket of people said
she looked like a 12-year-old, and that's why she was attractive.
Oh, that's super not okay. Come on.
I was so scared. I was like, I do not want to be in this room anymore. I want to leave. I am terrified. These men do not need to be here anymore. Like, can we, like, humanely euthanize them?
No, that we can't do. That is not okay.
If we can save a 12-year-old from a life of, like, abuse and trauma, I think we should be able to euthanize bad men. That should not have been said on the podcast.
I think we should be real careful about how we tread this
how about
line.
Bad people?
But
Equality.
Bad people, equality.
Not just bad men. All bad people. Dead.
well, yeah, that is something that, you know, it's just almost, it's more often.
It is more often men.
Or
And
we should
that's
hear
why
about it more often.
We need to
It's still-
educate men young and teach them to be nice to women and not just, like, you know, be how they are. I should have said that more coherently, but I think we all know.
I think we knew what you were.
Cool.
I know what you were attempting to get at. So I think we're good. But we always make sure we do Women's History Month because a lot of the
because we love women.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of the women's history is stuff that you don't talk about. It's like when we do Black History Month, or we do. There's other ones too. Like there's the Mexican American month, which I don't think falls on like an actual
What
like
month
start
is
of the month and end of the
okay.
month. I think it's like a 15th to the 15th, and I can't remember which one it is. But you know, like when we do all that kind of stuff, it's usually because those are the kinds of things we don't talk about in other regular classes and history classes and things. That's why when we do a lot of like picture book biographies in my story times and activities because I like them. But
Yeah,
it's
they're easier
also
to read.
yeah, but and it's a really fun way to like bring in stuff and people that like a lot of times you wouldn't otherwise hear about because it's like the first woman who did this or the first person who did this or we have one out there. I think it's called Carter Reads the Newspaper, and it's all about the guy who campaigned for and started and really pushed and is the reason that we have Black History Month. And it's really cool, but like the book came out like 2 years ago, and that was the first time I'd ever heard of him. So like,
I haven't ever heard of him before.
yeah, exactly. So that's why we try to make sure that we display and we push. We don't really push, but like we
push.
yeah we don't push, but we make it available and
We gently nudge.
yeah, there we go. We nudge people in the direction of.
We go over there.
Yeah, these are cool things that you otherwise wouldn't, and that's why library reading and reading on your own is better a lot of times than school reading. Because school reading, you just have to read what they tell you to read. This way, you get to read what you want, and then you learn new things, and it's different, and it's weird, and it's stuff that you don't learn otherwise.
I learn new things in my reading only because the books are chosen by Andrew Gertler.
Well, yeah, that
I
helps.
love Andrew Gertler.
I also love Andrew Gertler.
I've heard really good things. I've
I
heard a
hope he
couple
isn't
not so
watching
good
this.
things, but I've heard really good things from more people, so I assume he's a good one.
I feel like the people who are telling you the not great things
It's
are
usually
people...
because no, Amber liked him.
Yeah.
It's usually because he makes you put in more effort.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Like, he makes you do-
an
no, like,
AP
he makes
class
you do-
with more effort.
Oh,
No, like
no.
he makes you do like the actual real work that he knows you can do. He doesn't
Yeah.
let you just slide. Like, oh, you're
Yeah.
smart enough. You don't need to
Yeah.
try.
But the
And he
problem
makes
is,
you
we are
keep-
in honors and AP classes. So if someone is like, why am I not just skating by? Why would you be in that class?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually it. It's because it's the only class they have to work in.
His class was the first class I genuinely had to work in, like, my entire time going to school. I don't think I've ever worked harder in a class than when I was in his class, and I loved it. I was like, wow!
If only you were still there.
If only I was still there and still had the motivation to work that hard. But I went to Pioneer because I thought it would be better. It's not.
Most of that, I think, depends on your program. However, I will also say a lot of times that is what I've heard from almost everybody.
Listen, what I've heard from my parents is it used to be a lot better. Well, I don't know about better, perhaps, but
More rigorous, maybe.
more rigorous and
Less awful.
more rigorous, and the teachers like actually cared and like made you like do things. But now I'm hearing that like most of the labs like aren't even teaching things. Like I go into labs sometimes for I don't even know it anymore, like photography or whatever. And none of the kids are doing anything. They're like sitting on their phones or staring at their computer. I'm like, what are you guys doing in here? This is like carpentry. You're supposed to be like
building something
with wood. Or like, this is like a medical lab. You guys are supposed to be like learning how to like not kill me.
It's supposed to help you like get a job, not just waste away like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the thing with most vocational schools, whether it's Pioneer or anywhere
Other
else,
ones.
anyone
Other
else,
ones that
like
we
the
don't
one
know.
my high school funneled into. I can't even remember what its actual name was. Everybody just called it VoTech because you were going, it was vocational technology. Yeah. You look completely flabbergasted. Like,
I'm really tired right now.
Anyway,
Me too.
Anyway, a lot of times, whether it's on purpose or not, a lot of the kids who get funneled into those programs, I'm not saying that there are no kids there who are doing it for the right reasons or who want to be there, who are really expecting. No, like really using it for the reasons that.
What are you trying to say, Jane?
A lot of times that kids that get funneled into those places are the kids that nobody else wants to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the
I
same.
can confirm.
It's the same reason that kids fall through the cracks in state testing. It's why they, and they like you can get to be an 8th grader and not know how to read, and it's because people were tired of dealing with you, and so they just shuffled you off to be somebody else's problem. And so a lot of times that's why you get big groups of like that. It's and it's nothing against kids, and it's nothing against like the school as a whole. It's just
the school's fault.
It's just no. It's just that that just seems to be the way it works in most places. And it's not saying that nobody gets anything out of it, because I think a lot of people get good things out of it, and they have a lot of good programs. I mean, we in the children's department work with their like early childhood, their preschool program, and they run a really good preschool, which means
I went to that preschool for 2 years.
I mean, they run a really good preschool, which means that they're training people in really good practices. And so, like, we know there are some things that are doing really well and going really well.
Yeah, some things they're doing fantastic. In other areas, they are lacking.
But there's always going to be, like, you can't be good at everything.
Slack-a-lacking.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
That was a weird tangent.
That was. Okay, what's the next tangent we're going to go on?
What's your next tangent?
Sam said he's prepping for college, and that's what he's doing next. Do you know what you're doing next yet, Ollie?
Yes.
More Pioneer.
No.
that was a horrible, like, right now, no way,
I don't want to go back. Anyway. Pioneers, okay, I had a great time for, like, the
first... It
will
always follow you.
I had a great time for, like, the first half of my first year. And after that, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But it's okay. I learned some stuff. But anyway, so I'm going to finish. What?
Rounding.
We spent like 3 weeks in my math class learning how to round. It was a good time. It was something. And for a minute there, I almost believed that I didn't know how to round. I went in there, I was like, I know how to round. And they're like, we're going to learn rounding. I'm like, do I know how to round?
It turns out you did.
It turns out I did know how to round. And no one else did, though. It was weird. I was like, didn't I learn this in, like, kindergarten, first grade? I don't know. When do we learn rounding?
Like
well, first you have to learn numbers and, like, how they work. And then you usually do rounding. I don't know. We used to do that probably about, like,
remember,
not
guys,
in high school.
No, by high school you ought to know how to do that.
Anyway, remember, guys, the alligator wants to eat the bigger number. So that's how you know which way the sign's facing, you know?
The alligator, like, tomps the yes.
Because the alligator's hungry, so he wants a bigger meal. That's the only reason I know what those signs mean.
That's the only reason anybody knows what those signs mean.
Just thought I'd let you guys know in case you don't know, and I just needed you to know. Anyway, so what am I doing after school?
Yeah, what are you doing next? You're going to graduate in May. It's on my calendar.
Wait,
good.
no, mine.
I need you.
Yours is on my calendar.
Anyway, so after I graduate, I'm just gonna keep working, and I'm also gonna like start my business thingy on the side, which is coming along very nicely.
How is that going? Because you've been doing that
I
entrepreneurship
have not heard of
program
this.
on Tuesdays.
You have not?
I have not heard of this. What is this?
Yeah, I had to write a letter for that too.
Yeah.
I write a lot of letters. I mean,
You're so good at it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's basically a program, and they teach you how to like start a business and run a business, and they get it like all set up for you, and it's like legal and everything. So by the end
I
of
would
the
hope so.
listen, well, sometimes you go into like business classes and they just like tell you how to run the business and just
they
give
don't
you,
really tell you how to get it off the ground to
yeah.
the point
Yeah,
where
just, like-
everything's lined up
yeah,
correctly.
they just like give you information,
Mm.
but this class like actually like helps you build the business, and then when you like graduate from the class, then the business is like up and running, and you can like actually do things with it, and
Nice.
yeah, so
Yeah, it sounded like a really cool program when I was writing the letter.
yes, so
What is your business?
it's like my art things and my costume things, and I'm also gonna sell like little trinkets, little like keychains
Nice.
and stickers and I don't know, whatever else I can find that people are interested in. Right now,
Nice.
right now we're doing keychains and stickers, and I gotta get those ordered. My samples did come in though. They're very cute. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a sticker, right?
Yes,
My
Am I
poor
gonna
new
get one?
laptop. My
Sure.
laptop it just has one sad little sticker on.
I will get you.
I
a
don't have
sticker.
any, so I need some.
Okay. I'm gonna update my logo eventually. We got some like graphic design people coming in, and I'm in graphic design. I gotta be able to create my own logo, but I have no ideas. So I'm gonna let someone else do it for me. But yeah, so once I get my my logo updated, I'm gonna create some logo stickers, and I'm gonna get those ordered. And those will be my little freebies.
I have a great idea for your logo. A straw hat.
It's actually a rainbow paw print, but the way I have it right now is like really stupid looking. So I'm gonna see if they'll like.
It's not
It's
stupid
not
looking.
stupid.
It's cute. It's just it's more comic ready than it
Yeah.
is business ready.
Yeah, it's just
Because
like.
when you did it, you weren't thinking about
Mhm.
business and slapping it on everything. You were just thinking about
Slapping it on a comic, and that worked
Yeah.
fine. But anyway, so my first like keychain series thing, I decided to start out with a series. That was very bold of me, but anyway.
very bold.
Very
Very
bold.
bold.
Okay, so I started out with like pride mushrooms, so like different species of mushrooms,
Mhm.
and they're like different pride flag colors. I started out with a rainbow fly agaric mushroom, which is like the regular red and white mushroom that you see literally everywhere. And then I did trans turkey tail mushrooms, and I love the alliteration. That's the only reason I picked turkey tails. Trans turkey tails. I love to say it.
I like that.
Yeah.
It is a
Turkey
fun. It is good alliteration.
Yeah. But anyway, I ordered 4 samples because I didn't know if I wanted the keychains to have an epoxy coating or not. I decided I am gonna go with it because it makes them shiny, and we like shiny things.
And
It looks
sometimes
good.
you have to see it to
I
see
wanted
what
to
it's
see it
gonna
so
look
bad.
like, because a lot of times what it looks like on screen and what it
Yeah.
looks like in person are very different.
Yeah, I didn't want to order 50 and then hate them.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. So I like that
Yeah.
you were able to get samples. That's extra cool.
But anyway, I need to get rid of the non-epoxy one, so I decided I'm bringing in the mushroom one so you can hang in your office because we got to get you more rainbow things. Even though you have so many rainbow things, you need more.
Jamie will become more gay.
It really doesn't work like that.
Woo!
We are still recording.
Are we?
Yes. But yeah, no, we'll put one in there.
Yeah, I want it.
I have
in your
space on that
office.
bulletin
Yeah,
board.
I want to put it on the bulletin board so bad. I was like, it just looks so good. They're so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, I gotta order keychains like this week or next week. Probably next week.
But yeah, this
Yeah.
week's already on Friday.
Yeah, we ain't doing it this week.
That's what I said about half my list. I was like, I didn't do anything this week. I know I did stuff, but it wasn't anything that I was supposed to be doing.
Was that me? Am I blinking or was
I don't
that
know.
lightning?
It's starting to look like
It's a
they
little
said
bit
it was
dark.
going to look.
It's
Today.
scary.
Yeah.
It's a
Supposed
little
to be.
bit spooky.
That's a little spooky, if you will.
I won't.
But could you? Would you? Eat green eggs and ham on a train? That's not.
Speaking of green eggs and ham, Master Will walks up to me a few days ago. He slaps my back.
Did you say
Mr.
Master
Will.
Will? Oh, I was
No,
like
I
Master
said Mr. Will. He slaps my back.
Any
and he
Mr. Will story's going to be good.
slaps my back and he says, "What's up, green eggs?"
What?
Because you're Sam.
Yes, I know
'Cause
that.
Sam
But-
tries to
but-
get...
But he doesn't go farther. He just says
No,
green
Sam.
eggs.
No, Sam. I will not eat green eggs and ham.
And then Master Amacone, now he just every time I leave and I say like, have a good day or whatever, he says, "You too, stud." How do I get these names?
I don't know.
I am green eggs and I am stud.
They're such vastly different, like.
Master Will called me a different name. Like he called me something along the lines of like Big Sam earlier this year, and I was like, what? Huh?
You know that's just because he's trying to remember who you are, so he gives you a
Probably.
weird nickname.
Yeah, but it's
I have to,
constantly
like-
changing. So
I have such a hard time remembering names and faces. It is literally so awful. I have to
what's my face?
Oh, I am really good at kids. I have no idea what their grown-ups' names are ever.
Because you see the
I
kids
know.
more.
I know who is Nana, and who is Grandma, and who is Granny, and I had a Yaya for a while. I have no idea what these poor people's names actually are.
The one guy at my work, I couldn't remember his name for the longest time. His name's Scott. And after like the 5th time he told me what his name was, I was like, okay, Scott. Like the toilet paper brand, and that's how I remember his name.
I haven't
Whatever
even
works
ever
for you.
heard of that brand.
It's like really cheap.
It's not great.
It's awful. Like you can see through it.
Oh. That is the
not
worst
great.
kind.
Yeah, it's awful. But yeah, I have to like put people's names with things like that if I'm ever gonna remember them. It's so bad.
Yeah.
For some reason, me and Cole have taken to a joke of just every time we see Case Mongold, we say his full name, and I don't know why, but it's really funny.
Like his middle name too.
I don't know his middle name, unfortunately.
You could just every time use a different middle name.
You should.
Because that's so. I love when people do
That's
weird
a
stuff
great
like that
idea.
because it's always funny.
That is a really good
Like when
idea.
you're trying to guess somebody's name, so like every time you use something different, thinking maybe this time I got it right, it's just always fun.
Me and Cole have devised like some of the funniest jokes I've ever heard throughout this year, and like half of them are just emails we sent people that were just completely incomprehensible. I'll show you some in the future because they're quite humorous.
That did flicker, didn't it?
Yeah, I was like, hello?
It could be too. Maybe one of our light bulbs is starting to. We'll do that. We'll just blame the light bulb.
Maybe it's the
How about that?
Demogorgon.
What?
The cloud?
Are you gonna blame the storm?
Yeah.
We could. Whatever.
Maybe it's the Demogorgon.
Not Mothman.
That's not the
Mothman's attracted to
monster
light. He
anymore.
doesn't make the lights flicker.
I really wondered how you were gonna correct me on that one. I did add to one of my order lists. I have because I got The Secret Life of Bigfoot.
Mhm.
I think it's in there in the office somewhere. And
The
so
Mothman statue.
and so I added to my order The Secret Life of Mothman.
I touched the Mothman statue's
And The
butt.
Secret Life of Chupacabra, and The Secret Life of, I think, the Loch Ness Monster, because on the cover he was wearing a cute little Scottish hat.
Aw.
It was funny. And Chupacabra's got an ice cream cone.
Maybe the Loch Ness Monster is a she.
Okay, yes, she was wearing a cute little hat, whatever.
Her name's Nessie, Jamie. Get it right.
We must respect the pronouns of all beings, even if they're not from this world.
Referring to her as the Loch Ness Monster really dims down her humanity.
So I should call her what, Nessie?
Yes.
Nessie!
Okay, fine. Nessie was wearing this cute little hat, so I went with Nessie. And I think I got the Kraken too, because the Kraken was like eating a ship. It was really. I bought her because of the covers. I mean, I did get Bigfoot, and I liked the interior of it and stuff. So, but the other mythical people I picked Mothman
Yay!
because I had to because we don't have very many Mothman, and you keep yelling at me.
I love Mothman.
And then the other ones I picked because I liked the covers.
Mhm. That's fair.
We do a lot of that when we buy books.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Based on the covers. Just because if the cover's really crappy, it doesn't matter how good the inside is, a lot of kids aren't going to pick it up. So, like,
Yeah.
we go with the more exciting covers. Or at least we try to.
Speaking of Mothman, I'm making a Mothman costume. I'm very excited. Yay!
That is exciting.
I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday and bought the feathers for his antenna. They're like these really long, floppy antenna, like feather things. It's gonna look ridiculous, and I love it.
You should it's like attach a lantern to your side for that costume.
That'd be so funny.
A lantern or like a lamp or something.
Just carry around a lamp.
Yeah.
That would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
And you went to the Mothman Museum.
I did. Today was hat day at school. I wore the baseball cap I got from the Mothman Museum. And I let everyone know that. Even though they didn't ask.
That is the best way to let people know anything, was when you know they don't care and they didn't ask.
Actually, my government teacher asked, he was like, why'd you wear that hat? I was like, because I got it from the Mothman Museum, and I wanted everyone to see it, because it's cool. Everyone already
in that
seen
exact tone of voice.
Uh-huh. Everyone already seen the Mothman beanie, because I wore that like a couple months ago. I was like, we can't wear the Mothman beanie twice. We have to wear the Mothman baseball cap now. Yeah.
Switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, switch
I
it up.
do like switching up my hats.
I just don't wear hats.
Oh, I wear a lot of hats.
I have a lot of
Metaphorical hats and physical actual hats. I have a lot of hats.
What is a metaphorical hat?
You've never heard anybody say that?
No.
Like when it's like in a lot of jobs and in a lot of places and doing a lot of things, like, and a lot of mothers and busy people who stay at home will say that. Like, I wear a lot of hats. I'm a lot of different people. I'm a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And so, like, my job in general, I wear a lot of hats, and then.
And you all actually wear.
And then I actually put on hats sometimes. Yeah. I had a bunch of hats. How many hats did I wear this week?
A few.
Between the Spirit Week stuff and the cowboy stuff, because I started with the cowboy hat because of story time, and then I wore the Daisy headband. That's really not a hat.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wore the leprechaun.
I count it.
And then I wore the leprechaun headband that had a hat.
That's like a double hat.
Yeah. I guess I only did 3 this week. I've done more hats in a week.
I'd say anything you put on your head is a hat.
That might be debatable, but okay.
That's definitely debatable. I can think of a lot of reasons.
I'll fight you over that.
You can fight me when we're not on this podcast, because I can't say the thing that I'm thinking on this podcast.
Please don't. Please
anyway,
don't.
I have a lot of hats because I do a lot of, like, costume cosplay things. And most of my hats are actually just, like, really cute flower crowns that I used to, like, hide the elastic on my horns. Because I also have, like, 3 different sets of horns that have, like, elastic
Why do you
bands.
have so many horns?
I love horns, and they go with my deer pants.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna make new deer pants soon. I have, like, a bunch of different costume ideas. I'm gonna finish...
I was gonna say, how many things do you have that you're working on? Because you got the Mothman. Did you ever finish with the dinosaur head thing?
No, I gave up on that.
Okay. I thought so because it's been a while since I heard about it.
Yeah.
And you've updated Olie.
Yeah, I updated Olie. I might redo his tail eventually. His current tail that I just redid a couple months ago is okay, but I found out a better way to do it, so...
The second tail's better than the first tail, though.
So better. So much better. So better.
So better.
So better. That was not...
Andrew Gertler would be disappointed.
I hope he doesn't watch this.
I hope he doesn't either, because he just hears me going, Andrew Gertler, Andrew Gertler, Andrew Gertler.
No, I was like, I love Andrew Gertler.
I also said it, so.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna finish the Mothman costume. That is priority number 1. And then I'm probably gonna make a worm on a string costume. I have an OC for that. I haven't made like a reference sheet or an OC.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
A worm on a string?
Yeah, it's gonna have like big googly eyes and everything.
I can get behind anything with big googly
I
eyes.
know. Anyway, it's actually an alien worm on a string.
Okay.
His name's gonna be Worms.
Oh, that makes it better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, his name's gonna be Worm, spelled W-U-R-R-M. And Worm.
Okay.
And
Spelled W-H-Y. But the Y is silent.
whoa. Anyway, so the worm on a string, he's an alien, so he's gonna have like these like really cute antenna floppy things and big old eyes, and he's gonna be really fluffy. And he's an alien, so he doesn't really know what like human like dress attire is like. He doesn't know what's like acceptable, so he kind of just finds clothes that he likes and puts them all together, and it looks really awful. It's like the most awful clashing outfit you've ever seen.
Like wizards when they try to go muggle.
Yeah, exactly. And so like he doesn't
Don't
know.
look at me like that. It's
Nerd.
funny.
It's funny. But yeah, he doesn't exactly know how to match clothing and stuff, so he's always in like these atrocious outfits, but he somehow pulls it off. Like, I don't know, but anyway.
It's the confidence.
It is the confidence.
If you go into a weird outfit with confidence,
yeah, you just really,
just-
sometimes I wake up and I'm like, wow, this outfit is like borderline ugly, but I'm gonna go in with it with so much confidence, and nobody says anything. Sometimes I get some compliments. I'm like, okay, see?
exactly. You gotta channel
When
your
I got
inner Jamie.
My
and
haircut, which I hated, I got a bunch of compliments, and I was like, why now? Like,
I'm getting
when
my
I hate
haircut on
myself,
Monday.
why
I'm very
not like
excited.
when I actually like my hair?
Anyway, so Mothman worm on a string.
Mothman worm.
And then I'm either gonna make a full body fursuit of Zephyr, or I'm gonna
Who?
make new fawn pants, or a whole new like deer costume.
Who's Zephyr?
I will show you a
Zephyr?
picture.
Zephyr?
Zephyr. I chose the name because I wanted like a Greek
Spelled
mythology.
Z-E-F-E.
No,
E-U-R?
Zephyr.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wait, Y-R?
Yeah.
Ugh.
it's the name of the North Wind from Greek mythology.
Yeah.
That's
Don't you
how-
know that?
Yeah,
No.
that's how he got his. That's how he got his name. I was looking up like cool Greek mythology names, and Zephyr came out. I was like, ooh, that's fancy, and it's what they call it the North Wind.
What is the North Wind?
It's the wind that comes from the north.
Thank you.
That's what it is.
What else?
Anyway,
Why'd they name that?
I don't know. They had names.
They had names for everything.
for all the winds: north, south, east, and west. I don't know the other names because I don't have
How about up, down?
up, down, wind.
Up, down, wind.
Up, down, wind. Anyway,
Speaking of wind.
That flag's getting awful.
I'm scared to go outside. I have to drive home, and I don't like driving, especially not in this weather.
I still say this is better than snow. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Snow. I can drive in snow. It's the like sleet and the ice that I'm usually pretty.
Zephyr.
Ooh.
This little guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I recognize that picture.
Zephyr. So he's either gonna get a full fursuit or I'm gonna make new deer pants, and all of those will happen eventually. All my M&Ms just spilled in my pocket.
I wondered what you were doing.
Unfortunate. Why'd you show the camera?
Because they need to know.
M&M's.
Emmy-nemmies that I didn't finish before we started.
M&M's.
Do we have anything else at all that needs to be talked about? Because we've been talking for a very long time
Yeah.
now.
I wanna go home and go to sleep.
Yeah.
And it is getting to be 4:30.
Then I got my Emmy-nemmies to eat.
Okay, so are we done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Then make sure you say goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for
Bye.
listening to me ramble.